Okay, Stephanie, thank you so much for your sharing. And earlier we did the Big Five personality test, right? You took it as well. So yes, you've got the wild card, right? So I just wanted to ask you a little bit more questions. Whether you think that your personality test results actually accurately reflect you. Why or why not?
Um, I would say kind of
Sure, you
is,
can take a look at it. No
yeah.
worries.
It kind of is uh, somehow like
Somehow
similar,
okay.
similar, yeah, to my personality.
And
Yes.
why do you think so?
Most of the questions that I answer, I think, uh, I answer it based on how I felt and how I will usually behave in that certain situations. So yeah, so it's
So it's
more
relatable to you.
relatable. Yes.
Right, okay. Now, which traits from the results do you think help you succeed in your role? Because there were a few traits that we picked out, right?
Yeah.
So for openness, you've got 57%, conscientiousness, you've got 55%, extraversion, you've got 25%, for agreeableness, you've got 53%, and lastly, for neuroticism, you've got 43%. So would you like to share with me which traits might help you succeed in your role as a financial advisor?
I think openness because I I'm more than willing to help my clients and my prospects to actually find um, what they need and to understand them better. So I think the openness to being able to actually um, like to meet them and to speak to them and to understand them. Yeah. So I
Right.
say openness. Yeah.
Okay. Now, on the contrary, which traits might hold you back or create challenge in your role as a financial advisor?
Uh, for that, I think it would be agreeableness
Okay.
because maybe sometimes we might agree to everything, but what if I cannot like perform based on what I agree? So that might be a weakness, in my opinion. Like if I don't perform uh, as per what I promise, then it will be like over promise and under deliver. So I feel that might become a weakness for me. Yes.
I understand. Okay. And how do your personality traits, right, influence the way you interact with clients? Based on what you've gotten today, influence the way you interact with your clients?
I think like I mentioned just now, being open. So being able to speak to them and yeah, it will in a way like being there for the client and actually talk, like speak to them and trying to understand them. So I think openness, uh, it will kind of influence the way I meet and speak to my clients. Yep.
Right. Okay. And how do you think your traits would affect your teamwork with your colleagues or supervisors?
So I would say like like I mentioned openness, right? So I would probably be more open to accept like feedbacks from my teammates and all. So I don't think there will be an situation where like even though I may not be able to agree to everything they say, but I think I'll be able to adapt and like the openness to learn from them and change certain things if I have to change, uh, for example in the in the way I approach the client or any feedback that they provide that it will benefit me and it can help me to improve myself, then definitely I will be able to do that. So yeah.
So I just wanted to discuss a little bit more on this, right? So for extra version, you've got a low grade of 25% because you tend to prefer quieter environments and smaller social circles, right? So for example, in a team where things are discussed as a group, for example, your sales targets, the results, or um, room, the discussion on room for improvement, or things like that, when these are addressed, how would you take it?
I would definitely take it seriously, in a sense that I would listen to the feedback and ponder on it and actually look at ways on how to change myself. I mean, when someone says something, you should be analyzing it, but of course not over analyzing it, but analyzing it and see how you can improve yourself and how you can actually move forward. Even if it's a criticism, I think we should be able to actually take the criticism, but to work rather than feeling upset about it. I think we should take the criticism and work on it so that we can become better. Yeah.
Right, I think that leads to your score for your neuroticism, right? That it says that you have actually a balanced emotional life and you can generally manage stress effectively, so that's a good thing. Yeah, okay, now we'll move on a little bit about motivation and performance, right? Because
Yeah.
this job is something that will not guarantee you a fixed paycheck or a
Yes.
fixed commission or things like that. It's the amount of output that you put into the job that will translate into your income, right? So for that, it's not like your 9 to 5 desk bound job. You definitely need a lot of motivation
Yes.
and things like that, right? So now, what motivates you most at work? Is it money, recognition, or things like flexibility or purpose?
I would say purpose,
Hmm.
um, because I feel that this job is not just to earn money, but it's actually to protect families and individuals. So it's more of like finding a purpose and uh, you know moving with that. So my motivation would be actually to protect each person that I meet, eventually, each client, and to protect their families as well. Yes.
And what type of management style helps you perform best? Do you need to be tagged to a mentor, or do you need some guidance, weekly check-ins, task lists, or are you able, because you mentioned earlier that you actually prefer a structured working system, right? So someone to hold you accountable, or how does that work? Or are you all right because you also do prefer working independently as your result shows, right? So then how do you think your management can help you perform at your best?
I would say being tied to a mentor, because initially when you come into this industry, I think you need someone to actually guide you and to teach you. So being tied to a mentor will actually help me to better understand this industry, and also uh, you know teach, like I'm able to learn from the mentor, and I'll be able to actually understand the job better. So that would be something that I would prefer.
Mm.
Yeah.
And how do you prefer to receive feedback then?
um, for me, I think weekly check-ins, and or just being accountable to my mentor. I think that itself will be able to give, like, uh, that itself will actually create a good relationship for them, and also like for both of us to actually uh, how do I put it, like, to understand each other. And also when they provide feedback, like when he or she provides feedback for me, I think it will be easier for me, because like every week when I meet him or her and speak to them, I think they will be able to give me feedback every week, and or every uh, as often as possible. So I think that will help me also to improve myself. So yeah.
All right, so you prefer to receive feedback from your
Mentor,
that you are
yes.
tagged to, either on a weekly check-in
Yes.
or in a progressive
Just
manner
manner,
as you
yes.
manage a certain client. Understand? Okay, so what kind of support, right, would actually help you improve your performance if you feel at any one point of time you've hit a low or you're a bit lost? So, what kind of support do you expect to receive so that you help you to, you know, keep going and to, in fact, to do better? Yeah.
I think in terms of lead generation, so like getting ideas from my mentor, from my team members, like how they get their leads and how I can get my leads as well. So because I think everyone has different styles of doing things, right? So getting support in the sense that, like, getting the hearing different ideas might help. So I think, like, having meetings and discussions once in a while, to based on this, then we can actually like work with each other's ideas. We can try the different ideas that is being put out, and then we can actually work on it. So yeah, so I feel that maybe having weekly meetings or team, like just having the team gather and sharing their ideas would actually help. Yes.
Sharing of ideas
Yes.
and also recommendations,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And also the resources is something that you
Yes.
think will help you improve your performance. Right. So now, what are your career goals in this industry as a financial advisor in AIA?
My career goals, I would say getting my MDRT first, because that would be the most important recognition, um, and I think that it also gives me the motivation to actually do better. So I think I'll striving for MDRT, eventually COT, and then TOT. Yeah.
Understand.
Yes.
So MDRT would be your $1 million round
Yes,
table,
correct.
and the others that leads up to it will be
The